Hey everybody, Pez here. Today we're going to be reviewing Widow Jane 10-year. Now I'm pretty excited about this one, and I've been waiting for a while to get my hands on this, and I'm really excited to taste it. But I want to tell you a little bit about this distillery and give you a little background on the whiskey itself. So we can kind of go in there first, and then we're going to get into the review. Let's read this bottle real quick and get you a little information on what is actually in here and what they say about theirs before I tell you any information that that I found out. Widow Jane, aged 10 years in American oak barrels. Now this is kind of interesting. It's pure limestone mineral water from the legendary Rosendale mines. This is only 91 proof, so it's 45.5% ABV. Let me read you what they say on the back here. Non-chill filtered and proof with our mineral water from the legendary Rosendale mines of New York. We deliver a whiskey unique in its intensity and complexity. We'll see about that. Okay, I'm gonna see about that if it's intense and it's complex. Actually, I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping it is. It gets good reviews from everybody else, so I'm hoping I'm not the one guy out there saying something bad about Widow Jane. So let me tell you a little bit about what I found out about this distillery when I was looking into it. So this is actually, the distillery is in Brooklyn. I'm in a part of Brooklyn called Red Hook. I don't really know, I'm not from there. My wife is, she'll probably kill me that I don't know the information. But what these guys are doing is they are going out and getting whiskey from 3 different areas. They're getting some from Tennessee, some from Kentucky, and some from Indiana. So they do say that they keep them really small batches, which I think is pretty cool, 5 barrels. You know, we're talking about what 1,500-ish, 2,000-ish so bottles from each batch. I could be off there, I don't know. When they proof it, who knows what I'm gonna get. Why did I even bring it up? Okay, but anyway, the thing that's really cool about this is that about 100 miles, I think, northeast, something like that, there's this Rosendale mines. And inside the Rosendale mines, there's a particular mine, from what I read, called Widow Jane, which is, I guess, hence how they got the name. But what's supposed to be really cool about this is that they do blend their bourbons, they get it to how they want it to be, and then when they proof it using that water from that limestone mine. Now it is a limestone mine, which is kind of unique there, right? So that means a mineral water. They actually say that it's a hard mineral water. And the limestone there is pretty cool. When they say legendary, they mean it. It's the limestone that was used to make the Empire State Building, the limestone that was used to make the base of the, I don't know, the lady that's holding the torch. Come on. Statue of Liberty. Okay, Statue of Liberty. I can't believe I didn't just know that. Anywho, so I'm excited to try this. I'm excited to see what it is, and I'm actually excited to see that because, you know, a lot of places will actually brag about how their water is pure, spring, this. They're like, no, we got mineral water. It's hard water. Calm down. That's what we use to proof our bourbon. So from what I hear and from what they claim, that's what gives this bourbon its unique flavor. Let's see what you got, Widow Jane. Let's see what you got. So, anywho, let's go ahead and get this thing open. Oh, nice. Let's go into the pour. It's a pretty good one, if I do say so myself, and I just did. Ooh, okay, can't get into it yet. So anyway, the way that I'm gonna rate this is the rating of 1 through 5 on nose, palate, and then overall value. And my rating system should be somewhere on the screen, I hope. Unless I'm just not a good editor, and it won't be, and it'll only be in the description down below. But it'll be in one or the other, or hopefully both. We'll see if I can pull that off. But anyway, let's get into this thing a little bit and talk about what we smell here, what we taste here, and overall what the value of this bad boy is. Widow Jane 10-year. All right, guys, let's go in on the nose and see how this tastes. Let's go on the nose and see how it smells. We'll taste the taste later. Okay? All right, that is pretty sweet. I get some toffee, some caramel, or caramel, depending on where you're from. Caramel for me, okay? Calm down. There is something there to it. It's got some baking spice to it. There's something definitely unique from this that's not, I don't get from a lot of other bourbons. It's earthy. Like if you walk through the forest, like right after it rained, you kind of got that sweet vegetation smell that's coming through. I like that. That is definitely unique. That's definitely unique. So I don't know, maybe it's that limestone. Whittle James, you got something going on here? Huh? You gonna tell me about it? Needs to calm down a little bit, but I like it. I like it. All right, guys, let's go in for the taste on this one. I had to go back for one more smell. God, it smells good. That is so interesting. Sorry, okay, I said taste. Sorry, I went in for a smell again. I couldn't help it. All right, let's go in for the taste for real this time. I'm not gonna smell it. I promise. I'm not gonna smell it again before I taste it. Okay, I promise I'm gonna actually taste it and not smell it. All right, wait me one more time. Okay, here we go. All right. Ooh. There it is. Okay. 1 second. All right, guys. It is a bourbon. So it's sweet and it's caramel and it's even got a little notes of the red fruit and the things that I normally get from a bourbon, like a cherry or a dark red fruit or something like that. But really, really good. However, whatever that smell was, that was kind of earthy and like a vegetation, like it comes through on the taste. Like, this is unique. I like this. So I would describe it as like, when I say mineral-like, I know I'm saying that, maybe I'm saying that because it's what it kind of has told me to say. It's told me to taste that. So I mean, we got to understand that psychosomatic does actually impact the way that things taste. But it is something there, like, this is gonna sound crazy, but it's almost like a when you cut open a tomato, and the way that kind of has that, because it's really, you know, a tomato, like, it's like not the ones that are ripe, like off the vine, like fresh. I'm talking about the ones that the grocery store makes that are like this big around, the size of a head, and then, you know, so they don't really have a ton of flavor. There's like a big juicy water ball with a hint of tomato. That's this. A hint of tomato, but very, very pleasant. I mean, very pleasant. Like oh my gosh. When I go back, I get a little bit past that. Initial kind of sweetness, and now I can really kind of get in there. So definitely get a little more barrel on my second nose. A little more barrel. Now that I've said tomato, like, it's crazy. But I get it kind of like a marinara. Is that? I mean, but it's good. Like, I know when I say marinara and tomato and bourbon, maybe people are like, what the hell is this guy talking about? I don't know. Maybe that's not the right. It's just what it brings up in me. Because you guys know, like, smell brings up a lot of memories. This smells really, really unique. I wouldn't say that it's like, oh my God, it's the best thing I've ever smelled in whiskey, but it's maybe one of the more unique things I've smelled. All right, we're gonna go back in for more taste. Now I got a lot of that brown sugar. It's got a little bit more of like a baking spice to it. I've got a little bit more of the barrel on the back end. All right, one more taste, and then I'll go ahead and give you all my overall rating. Why every time I say one more taste on this is to let you know that I kind of like the nose on this, because every time I say I'm gonna do one more taste, I go back in for another nosing. Sorry about that. Taste, for real. That's pretty good. There it is. Whatever that is at the end, it's just kind of on the finish. It's just this earthy, pleasant, vegetable, definitely something that I don't normally get. Okay, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the ratings. I'm gonna do it 1 through 5, and I'm gonna do it on the nose, on the taste/palate, and then also on the value. So on the nose, I think it's pretty obvious. I like it. I like it not really because it's this phenomenal bourbon, cherry explosion, or caramel, or vanilla, all these things that you really hope you get out of a bourbon. I mean, it is all those things. It's just got a really good, solid bourbon nose, okay? Everything that you want in a bourbon nose, you're getting it. The sweet, the red fruit, a little bit of the barrel, you're getting all that in there. A little bit of the oak for the 10 years, that makes sense, right? But it's that other smell. It's that other, whatever that earthiness is that it has. I mean, whatever that is, that's what kind of, to me, sets this a little bit apart, where I actually think I could pick this up at a later date and be like, oh, I think that's that Whittle Jane. It's that unique. So to me, it's that uniqueness is like that kind of elevates what I would score. Like if you just said, if you just said, hey, on a bourbon only, what do you think about this? I would say probably around maybe a 3.5, bourbon only. Okay, like a 3.5, really good, really solid, something you're gonna enjoy. But then you say, okay, you like that? Now here's this. Here's this, okay? Let me throw a little bit of this earthy, vegetal, delicious smell that just kind of throws your nose for a loop on there. And then I'm gonna have to bump this up, and I'm bumping up like considerably, like, I think it goes to like a 4.25, easy, because I just like it. And think about how many times I went back to it. It's just interesting. So I'm giving it a 4.25 on the smell. On the taste is just a really solid bourbon. Again, I would probably hit this right at a 3.5 easily on the taste. But then again, boom. Let this finish, this vegetation, like this marinara type, I know it sounds horrible, this marinara type finish that's just so unique and so interesting. Let's go ahead and throw that in. So I'm gonna probably bump that up too, like for like a, I don't think it's enough for this to like say this is like, you know, the nectar of the gods type stuff. But it's really, really good. But like, I think that that limestone, I guess it's that limestone water, that hard mineral water that they put in there, it just has this really uniqueness to it. So I'm probably gonna give it just a straight solid 4 for the taste on this. Really good, really unique. Would I sip it every single day? I don't know. Like, I would want to like make sure this is something that I do on occasion. So like, I'm always a little bit surprised, like in a pleasant way, with that smell and that taste. And then on the overall value, I think this one, when I got it, where I got it from was right around that $80 range. I think it was like 70 something with tax, it was over 80. So $80 for this, I mean, that's good. I don't think it's great. It's not a great buy. It's not like, oh man, I just knocked this one out of the park. I mean, like, your great buys are gonna be stuff, you know, like when I always think about what's one of the best buys in whiskey, like in my mind, I compare things to like rare breed. Like, that's crazy how good that is and how cheap it is and how readily available it is. So like, is this that type of buy? No, it's not that type of buy. Are you gonna take this home and open it and say, man, I spent $80 on this and now I'm pissed? No. You're not gonna do that either. So like, I'm gonna give this just a solid, better than average, like a 3.5 on the value. So you go ahead and you slap down a 4.25 on the nose, you go a 4 on the taste, and a 3.75 on the value. You throw those in a scrambler, you shake it up, and you're gonna come up with an overall rating on this, for me, is a 4. Give it a try, and please let me know what you think if you've already had it down in the comments below. And if you have watched to this point, guys, come on, like, comment, and subscribe on this thing. I really appreciate this support, and I hope to see you next time that I'm pouring and scoring. Have a good day.